Anybody else out there streams, you should definitely consider hitting up Infernos. Um, he's very good at design and makes these cool things. And he's made all of my stuff. Don't do it, it won't work. That might be true. Um, I've been friends with him for like a decade now. More than that. About a decade. 11 years, maybe. I can kind of pressure him into helping me out, but yeah. All right. Nodders. Yeah. Okay, cool. We are officially going to actually do this now, so I'm going to switch my microphone. Okay. Mic is good. Oh, one more thing. We're almost like a real streamer. We didn't do anything really stupid yet. This is very good. It's a very good overlay, by the way. I love it. It's very simple. Looks great. Okay. So yesterday we did the highlight on these ropes, which I thought came out fucking cool as shit. They look really good. The ropes and the stitching. They look so good. I'm super thrilled. So today I'm gonna base coat all the ropes on his arms and his back and his body and the stitching, because basically yesterday I wanted to make sure that this is what I wanted the ropes to look like, so I needed to test it. And now that I've seen it and I'm like, yeah, that looks good, we are good to go for doing it on the rest of his body. So got my super nerd glasses. I'm ready to go. I think I'm going to start with this arm because it's got a lot of ropes, but it's also like easy by default because it's not attached to the rest of his body, which frankly, it's really hard to like. Oh my god, I'm fucking up instantaneously. I'm not even out of concentration and I've already fucked it up. Okay. Let's pay attention. I mean, part of the difficulty of painting minis is realistically the just getting in there. It's very difficult to get, like, when his body is like getting into like certain locations in his body with the paintbrush, because you know things will be in the way, X, Y, and Z, all kinds of reasons why you can't quite reach a particular position. So whenever you have like a detached arm like this that I haven't attached yet, it's so much easier to paint. Which is why like I knew how complex this was going to be. With like these multiple shields. There's 3 shields here. If you see it. And then a couple of weapons and these scales. And I just didn't want to paint that while I was on his stomach. So I just felt like it was going to be a nightmare. And it turned out to be the right decision because it was really fun to paint. And it was not that hard. Comparatively, I mean, it was work. But I've definitely had a harder time painting things that were less detailed when they're located in like a really shitty place. Okay, this kind of sucks because this rope goes all the way back underneath this shield a bit. Painting these ropes is so satisfying though, because you immediately see like how it starts to stand out. It immediately starts to give it more detail. Because right now it's just kind of like brownish. And it just instantly starts making it stand out and like look different than just all being like one reddish brownish mess. it makes it like more, I guess they call it readable. That means like readability is like how quickly you can distinguish all the things that are going on a model at like a first glance. So you can paint, I mean, obviously like the model itself will determine how readable it is. Like if you have a model that's like kind of it's like not super high quality, has a lot of like nonsense going on in it that's like hard to determine what it is, that makes it not readable. But you can also like highlight readability or lack of readability with the way you paint. Having good contrast, having things really pop, having like colors that work with each other but also stand out from each other. Like all those things make it like really easy for your eyes to instantly just see it and go, oh, that's sick. I see all these things, as opposed to it being like, oh, that's just a massive crap. Because before, like now you can see a couple of ropes crisscrossing this, and it's not even like highlighted. So yeah, it's like vacuuming. Like vacuuming is fun. I mean, I don't like, I wouldn't say vacuuming is fun. Vacuuming of the chores, I feel like vacuuming is S tier. And my reasoning is because like every single time you make a pass over an area with the vacuum, you like see the difference immediately. Unless you vacuum way too often and like your house is just always clean and you're vacuuming a clean carpet, then like you can't tell. But if you like, you know, not wait until it's like filthy, but like if you wait until you like need to vacuum, like every pass over the carpet, you like see the difference that you're making. As opposed to like dishes, right? Like you put one dish into the sink or from the sink into the dishwasher, and you still have like a sink full of dishes. It doesn't look like you've done anything until you're like all the way done. It just feels like work. The other thing is like when you're doing dishes, well, I'm really talking about tiers of chores. But yeah, I mean, if we're doing it, let's might as well just have a conversation. When you're doing dishes, like you can do all the dishes and be like, ah, nice hard work done. Nice, sweet. I'm going to get like a big glass of water and just chill. And then you drink your glass of water and then what? You put it in the sink. And now like the sink is not full. It's not empty again. I don't know. I'm sorry. I think dishes are like F tier. Like they're the worst. I do dishes every morning because I hate them being in the sink. But I think it's like the worst chore ever because it immediately gets undone. All your work immediately gets undone, and you like, I don't know, it just sucks. So that's my take on dishes. I don't know why. But anyway, I guess my point was, this is like vacuuming. You paint one little part, and you're just like, oh man, that really stands out now. I can totally see the difference. And I understand why I painted it that way, and man, it looks so good. And it's instantly gratifying. And the argument can be made for dishes. Wow, I'm still on dishes, but I'm thinking about it now. I totally understand the argument that some people make, which is like, if you just put the dishes in the sink or in the dishwasher instead of in the sink the first time, you don't have that problem? Wait. Dishes are why I don't like... Don't like what? I can't read it. Fuck, there's a thing in the way. Why I don't like cooking. Yes. Yes, 100%. When I cook, I am like the most efficient cook ever. because I'm like, fuck, everything I do is gonna make more dishes. Yeah, dishes. So yeah, it's been determined. Dishes suck. Nobody likes them. And yeah, I was saying the argument of like, oh, you could just put the dishes in the dishwasher right away. Like, I don't know. I have a kid. You can't just like put the dishes in the dishwasher right away. There's a million things to do. Kid needs something to eat. Like, I can't be like, hold on, bitch. Like, you just like ate one thing, and I need to like make sure it doesn't have any gunk on it, and immediately put it in the dishwasher so that I can be super like I just don't have time. And the next thing I know, there's like a full sink full. I don't know. It's very hard. Not to mention, like, my daughter will just throw dishes in there as well. So to have them always in the dishwasher, when people say that, and they like legitimately are like, no, my dishes are never in the sink, they're always in the dishwasher. I just imagine someone standing at the sink 24/7, waiting for dishes to come by, so that they can just put them in the dishwasher. Now, like my friend Wizard lives by himself, and that bro just puts his dishes. He doesn't even put them in the sink. Like they don't even go in the dishwasher. As soon as he is done with a dish, he cleans it and puts it back. So he basically just had like there was a time where I came over to visit him, and he had like literally he had purposely cut down his dishes to like 2 bowls and like 2 forks and 2 knives, because this guy is awesome but also kind of fucking crazy. And he's just like, I'm never having more than like you or one other person over here. Um uh which is hysterical. But I guess he knows his life, right? Like if nobody's coming over and he's just always does the dishes, but that's different because you're just by yourself, right? So like no one else is making dishes. There's no reason that they have to go in the sink. There's no like rush. As soon as he's done, he can just go. It's just part of eating. He just cleans the dish and puts it back in the pantry, and just basically uses the same dish every single time he eats. But then it's so frustrating when like I'll go and visit him, and he has like just like a couple dishes. Yeah, fucking Wizard, I know, right? Since I lived alone, I just didn't start the dishwasher that often. Yeah, well, that's the other problem. Like, if you live alone and you put everything in the dishwasher, then you have like a whole different issue of like, you can run out of dishes putting them in the dishwasher because it's just you. So it takes like a week for the dishwasher to get full, and then shit's like crusty unless you basically wash them first. Easier to hand wash. Yeah, I mean that was Wizards. That was Wizard's mindset. It's just like it's just easier if I just do it now. Like why wait? Um. Also, he had like a principled problem with the idea of a dishwasher, because you kind of have to like get the big gunk off your plates. And so he was always like, "Why am I washing my dishes to put them in the dishwasher?" And I was like, "You're not washing them. You just have to like wipe them down. Like you don't have to use soap or anything." So he's like, "No, like I'm not gonna have my dishes washed twice. That's stupid." So he refuses to use a dishwasher because he thinks it's dumb. Because he's like, I have to wash them anyway before I put them in there, so I'll just wash them all the way and then I'll just be done. So Wizard's an interesting guy. So yesterday my bits worked, right? You were there, Infernos. But I also apparently got 2 followers, which is awesome. So thanks everybody who follows me. Super sweet. But the follow thing didn't go off. So I'm like confused. And then today in my feed I got a sub, and I did get a sub. Not just in my feed. But I got a sub. And I saw it pop up in my feed. On my welcome screen. But the alert didn't go off. So I don't know when it works, when it doesn't. I don't understand. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little frustrated about it. Because I really appreciate people supporting. And I want to be able to, like, notice it or, like, call them out and make a big deal about it. It's hard when, can't really tell what's being done, what's happening. I have made a solid mess of this. I don't know if it's because my gray is drying out a little bit. I need some water so it can come off my brush smoother. But it feels like yesterday I was so precise and it was no big deal. Today feels like I'm struggling to paint things that are not that small. I mean, this stuff is small, but it's not so small that I should be painting like everything. I'm not trying to base coat the whole mini gray, you know what I'm saying? We've got most of the stitches now. There's a couple over here. Yeah, I think I need to add a little bit of water to this gray. I think that might be the problem. Sometimes when it's dry, it gets a little clumpy, and then it won't come off very smoothly from the brush. And that, like, really makes a big difference because you're like then you have to, like, kind of press in to get the paint to come off onto the brush. And that's when, like, shit goes bad quick. Oh, there's so many little details. So yeah, household chores, vacuuming S tier, dishes F tier. Let's see. Okay, so I still, like, this is not a clean paint job at all, but it still made a really big difference. You can see how much more detail that gives it, how much cleaner that looks. Gotta wash up this big stuff before even putting the dishwasher so it doesn't go. Yeah, I know. And I think that's Wizard's problem with it. He's like, if I'm already washing off the big stuff, then I'm just gonna wash it. Like, why should I have to wash it numerous times? Which, like, is kind of actually a reasonable point, but not really, because it takes me like 2 seconds. Like, this is with all Wizards points. There's like one part of it that's reasonable, and then 2 parts of it that are unreasonable. Right? Is it true that you kind of have to wash your dishes before you put them in the dishwasher? Sure, you can't just, like, throw, like, nasty, big, gunked, chunky shit in there. You can't throw shit in there with, like, food on it. You have to take, like actual food in it. You can't, like, throw food in the dishwasher. Like, there is some work you have to, like, some amount of work you have to do. But is it true that, like, that means it's worth it to just hand wash all your dishes? Like, definitely not. Because ultimately, even though that other part is true, in the end, that other part, like, that's just only true when you're like ignoring the fact that it takes me about, 5 seconds per plate when I have the water running and like a sponge in my hand to get all the gunk off of it. And washing it takes like probably 30 seconds a plate, if not more. And that's like a pretty shitty job of washing it, to be honest. If I just like scrub it for like a second or whatever, I don't know. Because then I've got to like dry it as well. So if I've got like 6 plates, I can either sit there for 3 minutes or I can sit there for 30 seconds. And, the rest of it is just handled like overnight while I'm not paying attention to it. So, yeah, I'm still saving time, And like, I'm probably getting a much better washing of my dishes in a dishwasher. Okay, the dishwasher talk is officially over. The other thing I hated that I never understood why people like is mowing the lawn. A lot of people are like, yeah, but there's no feeling like mowing the lawn. And I think my biggest problem is kind of like I was saying with like vacuuming versus dishes. It feels really nice to have a freshly mowed lawn, I agree. But anything that like feels like it's just infinite work and is just gonna keep getting like, it doesn't take long for it to not have that feeling anymore, in my opinion, already sucks. Like a vacuumed floor lasts for like a week before it starts looking like dirty. But a mowed lawn, I feel like within 2 days, it no longer looks freshly mowed. And that's just like, for the amount of work that I put into mowing, it's just not worth it. I mean, obviously you have to mow, right? It is worth it ultimately, because you have to mow your lawn. But like, it's not worth it enough to like feel good about it. I mean, obviously you don't have to mow your lawn every 2 days. But like 2 days later, it doesn't feel, you don't have that like, nice, this is a freshly mowed lawn feeling. It's just a lawn. Whereas like vacuuming still feels like a pretty clean carpet for like a week. I don't know why, but carpets just feel clean to me until they're dirty. Whereas like there's other situations where it's like it immediately feels dirty. Like the sink immediately feels dirty when there's dishes in it. Like one dish and like the sink is not clean anymore. The lawn starts to grow a little bit, it's immediately not fresh anymore. But for some reason with the carpet, it's not the same for me. Like I'm like, okay, the carpet's fine until it's suddenly just dirty and it needs to be like cleaned. So maybe that's just like a weird mental block I have. Who knows? I will say, what is this? Today's episode of Miniature Painting the Dishwasher. I think those people have lawnmowers you can drive and not push. Well, I had a lawnmower that I could drive too. When I had like a big lawn, I had a John Deere tractor. It was very comfortable. I could sit on there and listen to music. But, like it's fucking hot outside. It's humid or whatever. And like, as much as it's not bad to drive around, it's not in itself, it's not like awful. It's not an awful experience to drive around and be a little bit warm. It's still like I had some property, so it took me a couple hours to mow my lawn. You know? And like I'd be out there on a tractor mowing for a couple hours. That's just like, I don't know. That was 10 years ago. So like phones did not have the data to be able to like watch Twitch while I'm like on my phone or like watch TV on my phone. Like now I think it would be a different situation because I would just chill on my tractor and set up my phone and just like watch YouTube or Twitch or whatever. Or I'd like, stream YouTube TV. I'd watch football or something. I would do all kinds of things. But back then, when I was doing it, there wasn't really any like the best thing that I could do, which is what I did, was just listen to an audiobook, which wasn't bad. That's not a bad experience. But like, it wasn't like every day I got up and I was like, man, like, I want to go out and mow the lawn for 2 hours and listen to an audiobook because I got nothing better to do. You know? Like, obviously, there's other more important things to do besides that. And like I've had a gardener and stuff before, and that works, and that's nice, and that's cool. But then like a groundskeeper. But then like, I don't know. You have to worry about all their little weird idiosyncrasies because people are weird. I don't know why. I'm really hung up on chores right now. I don't know why. There's no reason for me to be this obsessed about chores. Wow. This is I didn't really think about this weapon having ropes. I think I've only ever really talked about it being on his body and being on the stitching of the clothing. And now that I'm actually painting the ropes on this weapon, I'm realizing that this weapon is covered in rope. And that like I might not actually even do anything else today because there's so much rope. Like I'm probably going to spend the next 15 minutes painting the ropes on this weapon. Oh, man. And I should stop. I should stop right now. Not the stream, but I should stop painting these ropes because I just realized that the reason I didn't consider it, like saying it out loud made me realize it. The reason that I didn't consider these ropes yet is for the reason that I've been off camera for a while. I didn't finish the wood yet, and once I start painting, not even painting on camera, yeah, I just realized. Until I finish the wood underneath, probably shouldn't paint the ropes because I'm just gonna have to retouch them. So painting the ropes on the arm was good. That's cool. Yeah, it's hard to paint on camera, man. It's really hard. Okay, where is on camera for this arm? This location? This is a good spot? Yeah, okay. So we're gonna switch away from that weapon. That weapon started to like consume the entire session. I painted the arm and was like, oh fuck, I see more ropes over there. It's hard because, like I said, to get to all the angles, you have to kind of like twist the guy around. And so every time you twist, you like, I don't know. Every time you twist it a little bit, you move position a tiny bit. And then it's like when you're in the ocean, the tide shifts a little bit. And it's just a tiny bit. And you're walking against the tide or you're like fighting against the tide, you know? It's not like pulling you or crazy or anything. But it's just enough pressure on you. That, like, next thing you know, you're, 30 yards down the beach. Just hanging out in the water. You've just been slowly pushed. My analogies are going deep today. Going into yard work and Riptide. I don't know about Riptide Infernos. That's a little more intense than what I'm talking about, but yes, a Riptide will definitely move you down the beach. Actually, it probably won't move you down the beach. It will move you into the water, away from the beach. Is this in camera? Yeah, more or less. More or less is probably the best we can hope for right now. As we do this very tiny, tedious thing. Okay. This gray needs even more water. I might be running out of gray. Might need to add more gray. Whoa, that was way too much. I hate how much touch up I'm gonna have to do, but that is it's just an unfortunate reality. Painting little details. I am not a perfect painter. And the smaller it is, the harder it is to get right. The more I touch the stuff around it that I'm not supposed to touch, the more I have to come back and retouch it later. Okay. Got those ropes. Now there's ropes on this side of his arm. See, like, this is a very awkward position to paint. I'm reaching really far underneath. And I just fucked up. Oh, that's so sloppy. Very disappointed with that. I don't know if you can see the slop fast under there. You can't even really see it because it's under his arm. That's the one benefit of it. The only benefit of painting in very difficult locations is they're usually the areas that you can't see or aren't going to see anyway. But if you're anal like me and aren't happy with things being fucked up even if no one else can see it. I mean, shit, I repainted this kilt on him like 4 times because the wash wasn't working properly. And that scale thing that I showed is literally going to cover like 99% of it. I know you can't see this right now, but I literally can't even, I can barely even reach it. It's really frustrating to me. So I'm just trying to get it painted without making too much of a mess. Because in this situation, like usually retouching will be not hard. In this situation, even retouching is going to be difficult. Last thing I want to do is end up in like a retouching cycle. I fix it and then I go to the process of fixing it. I'll like touch the rope and then I have to go back and retouch the rope, and the process of retouching the rope, I touch the red again and then I touch the red, and then yeah, this has happened to me more times than I want to count or talk about or admit or relive in my head. Shit. God damn it. This has been a very frustrating session where I have proceeded to make many mistakes. And there doesn't seem to be anything you can do about it besides just try to finish. Just try to finish. But I'm like aggravated by the angle. I'm aggravated by mistakes I'm making. I'm aggravated by how small it is. I said before, painting is usually something that helps my brain calm down. For some reason, the little things on this guy, whether it's how many there are, or how little they are, or how many mistakes I've made, they have been not helping me calm down. They've been doing the opposite. I've been getting very mad at it. There's some more stitching over here that I want to touch. It's literally starting to feel like every time I touch the paintbrush to something, I'm making a mistake. Which I make no pretension about being a great painter, but I'm not usually that bad. Okay, I think we've got it. For the most part, at least as much as we're gonna get. Difficult locations and anal. Yes. Yes, those are things that I said, Infernos. I think we've got it. see the ropes. That looks good as far as I'm concerned. Man, I really want to do the rest of the ropes on his hips and his side and stuff, but I'm really like concerned that I'm not doing a great job. Maybe if I put a little more gray on there, some fresher gray, it'll come a little bit easier. And I won't have so much like nightmare fuel. Alright. We'll try for just like a minute with some fresh paint and see if that was the problem. If that's not the problem, if it's just me, then I'll probably stop because I don't want to fuck everything up. Oh yeah, this is so much better. Fuck, I wish I had done this in the beginning. Not perfect, and I'm sure I'll still make mistakes, but this paint is coming off the brush much easier. Which just makes it so much easier to control. Yeah, not comparable. Not comparable. Okay, lesson learned for next time. It feels like you're making a ton of mistakes. Maybe it's not just because I'm a bad painter. Maybe there's other things going on. It's so much faster too. Now I feel dumb for waiting so long to change it. Being in my head is such a lose-lose situation. I'm a bad painter until I realize it's something else, and then I realize it's something else, and then instead of just being happy that I'm not a terrible painter, now I'm stupid for not doing it faster. Never just be happy. Just say like, good job, Ryan. You did it. It's gotta be like, why are you such trash? Why are you such a trash human? What I just did there was kind of trash human though. I just made a huge mistake. I thought I was looking at rope, and it was not. It was just his body. So I just put a nice heavy coat of rope on his body. Also, I like how I said I put a nice heavy coat of rope on his body. Good job, Gooby. Yeah. I don't know about that. Thanks for being supportive. It's also interesting because as soon as I take off these goggles, these like fucking magnifying glasses, I'm gonna look at my mistakes and I'm gonna be like, where did I fuck up? But with these on, it feels like everything's a fuck up and it feels super obvious. That's always a very interesting reality. Like, working with magnifying glasses makes you make it so clean and look so good compared to how it would otherwise, but to the naked eye, I mean, nobody's looking at this with with magnifying glasses on, except for me. Everything that I see is under magnifying glasses. So then the question becomes like, how much should you actually care? But the problem is, even if I shouldn't care, I do. So it doesn't matter. Because as we just mentioned, even stuff that you literally can't see because it's hidden by something else, I paint first. And I agonize over it being painted properly. Even though I know, without a doubt, that it is completely invisible and completely covered by something else that goes over top of it. But it would stress me out if I knew that, like, underneath of that, it looked like shit. I don't know. Okay. That section almost done. Got a lot of ropes going on the side of this here. Oh, look at a magnifying glass coming to your house. That's terrifying. These ropes are starting to come together. Man, so much rope. I know there's even more rope. And more stitching. I think the only stitching I haven't done is this stitching on the back here. So maybe I'll do that. Oh, there's ropes around his neck. I'll do those too. Okay, and then I'll call it a day. I'm gonna do this stitching here. I really like this part, and it looks cool, but this is another one of those scenarios where I know that a big shield thing is going over this in the back. So I probably shouldn't worry so much about it or stress about it, but I'm going to. There's ropes on these things. Bruh, the amount of ropes on this thing fucking kill me. That is going to be the title of this video. Warstomper, Mega Gargant, number, what, like 8 or 9 at this point? So many ropes. And we will touch it all back up. We'll have to touch up the ropes too, because we still have to paint the stuff under the ropes. I'm gonna fuck up when I do that. But it is, I'm not gonna lie, it is cool seeing it. Ultimately, like I said, as many ropes as there are, it's like vacuuming. You immediately can notice the difference. It makes it stand out. The mini starts to pop more. You can see what's happening more clearly. It's much more readable. This figure starts to take a little bit more shape. Like, he's this giant who is, well, probably realistically obsessed with rope. But other than that, you know, he's a giant of the scale that, that doesn't look like rope. That looks like a leather strap. But he's a giant of the scale that, like, when he makes a necklace, he gets like a big piece of fucking like heavy duty cordage, right? We're gonna be really careful here because I've spent a lot of time painting his neck and his head. You do not want to fuck this area up. All right. I don't know what these things are that stick off of this thing. I'm just gonna paint them gray anyway. Oh, I don't like this. It's hard to get to, but it's also mission critical that I don't make a mistake. That combo is scary. Because I put so many shades and layers on this guy's face and neck and head to get it the way that I want. That a mistake doesn't mean I can just like take, you know, a color, just like touch it once. I have to like redo a whole bunch of layers to get it looking the way it does now. I don't think I'm in camera anymore. Oh, I kind of am. Well done. Of course, when it's like really important, I'm having no problem. Okay, knock on wood. I'm saying no problem painting it without making mistakes, and then realize what I'm saying and how crazy it is to say that. But I will say that could have gone a lot worse, especially given how sloppy it was to start. Oof. This is even harder to paint. Big oof. Let's go really slow. Really, really slow. An error on the side of not touching the skin. Everything else can be retouched. The skin is very hard to retouch. Puts the lotion on the skin. Or else it gets the hose again. I made the tiniest mistake there, but it's something that I think that I can live with, trying to fix. And frankly, to get out of that, with only a tiny, tiny, tiny mistake is not bad. Now his neck ropes are all painted. He's got this cool gem that I'm excited to paint on his neck. I think it's going to be fun and cool. You can't even really see the mistake from here. All the stitching on the back and the ropes over his shoulders. All done. Ooh. I see this rope here. I feel like I gotta... I've kind of committed to doing all the ropes right now. And as much as I want to stop, I feel like while I'm doing the ropes, I should just do the ropes. Because I've already done so many. And it'd be stupid to leave like 1 or 2 ropes not base coated. I could just be done the base coating process of the ropes entirely. Also, let's see how many times I can say rope this stream. I just realized. I must have said it 100 times already. When I say that, I don't mean like, oh, I randomly picked a large number and said 100, because I think it's like 20. I think I actually probably said it close to 100 times. Okay. We touched that band there, which I didn't really want to do. But that's really easy to fix. You are in camera, thank you. I just now looked in the other arm and there's like 5 more ropes to do. Which is frustrating because I was like, oh, we're done. Oh, there's 2 more ropes. 2 more. I was like, are they in that same spot on the other arm? Yes, indeed they are. The answer, sir, is yes. You know what the other thing about being accurate at this scale is every tiny movement can make like a huge error. And like you're in this situation where you're holding it with one hand and painting it with the other, and both of them have to be extremely accurate. Like the littlest shake with either hand. And you always have a little bit of shaking, so you've got to like try to compensate. Not shaking, but a little bit of movement. But and obviously you learn ways to like brace your hands. They're all like kind of locked together. But you have one little shake with one arm that you didn't expect. Either arm, if either arm shakes at all, you get paint where you didn't want paint. It's just not forgiving. That's not fun. I don't want to be dramatic, but this is starting to feel like a little bit like torture. That was nice. I started being like, man, painting these ropes is fun because look how satisfying it is. It's such a satisfying task. It's an S tier task. And now I'm like, this is fucking torture. Holy shit. Let me stop. There's ropes everywhere. I think that's really the problem. There's just so many of them. I just want to do... And I think like as I'm painting them, I'm starting to think about not just painting them, but like this is just base coating, right? Then I have the medium color and then I have the highlights. And I have to do every single one of these ropes. Basically 2 more times. It just feels so brutal. I don't know if I'm emotionally prepared for that level of commitment to ropes. I'm a commitment phobe when it comes to ropes. Okay. Put the ropes around that part of his arm done. I think we'll do the little tassels. Oh no, those are going to be a different color. These are... No, those are bones. I mean, I just base coated them anyway. That'll be a different color. All right. Let's take one more look around this guy. See if we'll ever get to escape from the amount of ropes that we've got going on. Don't see any stitching that I didn't get. Do not see any ropes that I didn't get. Nice. I think we did it. All right. So what I'm excited for is all those ropes, as much work as it's going to be, are going to pop out like these white parts. And that's going to look really cool. And he's going to have that, basically that color pop and contrast all across his body, which I think is going to look amazing. And ultimately be worth all of the work. Right now it doesn't feel like it, but ultimately it will be. And I've said this before, but I don't know why I'm not just focusing on finishing this kilt. Take one more look, find 30 ropes hidden under a shield. Yeah, I mean, back to a prior question. Is it Warstomper or Warstomper? Warstomper? Stomper. Oh my god. Oh my god. Nice. Thank you. Can't spell. It's okay. No big deal. No big deal. Wait. Did it not, Okay, so yeah, it's Warstomper, for anyone wondering. Yeah, I didn't just paint for 40 minutes with it saying Warstomper. Yeah, I mean, there's, like I said, there's ropes on this weapon still. But ultimately, until I paint, like, the wood and the stone, that's gonna get it really, really shitty. How would I edit it in post? I'm not gonna go over the whole thing and put, like, a purple thing there. No. No. That's too much work. But yeah, I have to paint all of this stuff underneath of this before I get to the ropes, because it's gonna make a mess on top of the ropes, and then it's easier to just paint the ropes after. So, but it'll be super cool when all of these ropes and all of these ropes look like the ones on his ankle. I think that's gonna really pop and look super cool. But that being said, I should really just focus on the stitching here, get that done. And anything directly here that needs to be fixed, and then I can affix this on his belly permanently. I can stop just like putting it in place every time I'm done stream, because I want it to be on there. I always just rest it in there because it looks cool and I spend a lot of time on it. But yeah, so once I do all that stitching, then I can do that properly. And I will put it on there permanently. Then I can worry about the rest of the ropes and how bright they are. Yes. Not at this moment. But we made good progress today, so I'm happy about it. This brush back. Fuck, we're missing a brush. And it's from a spot that I would never move it. Oh, man. I think my daughter was playing with this. I'm not happy about it. But that's what happens when you have kids. The whole tip of it is bent. Anyway. Such is life. We made really good progress. I was happy about that. We switched microphones so you can hear me. Ghosts moving things. Yeah, no, it's definitely not that. It's definitely not that. No such thing as ghosts. Sweet. The most obnoxious purple box in that spot that clearly shows something wrong there. No, just like a big obvious purple box. Just like, that's just like clearly a fucked up edit. Like, what's the point of editing it if that's the case? Anyway, thank you, Mustard TV, for your awesome sub earlier today, and for the follows that people threw, and sorry that my shit doesn't work sometimes, and my alerts aren't fully functioning. I'm still working on trying to fix that. Some alerts do, some alerts don't. Appreciate it, everybody, and I will Be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Or no, it's tomorrow's Saturday. Fuck. Anyway, that means this weekend I may be around playing. I'm thinking about playing some RimWorld this weekend. Been wanting to play lately. So, cool. And then next time we're back to the Warstomper, I'm going to, yeah, I'm gonna definitely do the kilt and probably put that centerpiece on, because that'll be a really good feeling. Awesome. Thanks. Good stream, guys. Love you guys, and